Hey guys, welcome back. How'd you feel about the new language? This new language that Yahushua's introducing to his bride. I mean, it's not a new thing. He's been doing it since the very beginning. That's why everywhere he went was a revolution. You know, his behavior just blew people's brains out. I mean, what about this? While I was recording that last video out in the bush, I came back and uploaded it. And while it was uploading, I looked at Facebook. And there's another article. Christopher was writing another article at the exact same time as I was recording it and couldn't have got it in the same video. So now I'm coming back to finish this whole concept of the clean lip. What is the clean lip? I mean, let's go to it. I mean, all the translators, sneaky bloody translators, have changed it. I mean, if you look at the most average Bibles, most of the Bibles say, for Zephaniah 3:9, it says, "For then will I return to the people a pure language." It says pure language, that they may call upon the name of the Lord to serve him with one accord. So they're calling it a pure language. So of course, if he's going to return a pure language, we're all looking for a new language. The pure language, the original language, the heavenly language. Everybody's looking for a language. But if you look at the BYNV, it says, "For then I shall turn to the people a clean lip." A clean lip, not just a pure, general, pure language. That's why everybody's running to the Hebrew all the time, because they want to learn the clean, the pure language. Well, it's not that. It's wrong. It's been put in there the wrong way. It should say clean lip. "For then I shall turn to the peoples a clean lip, so that they can all call on the name of Yahuwah and serve him with one shoulder." In the Millennial Bible and many other translations, man has slipped in the deceived words, pure language. The BYNV calls it a clean lip. For years, man has thought Yahuwah was going to change our language to a new one. Many have thought we all have to learn Hebrew. We always used to think that. We always used to feel like we weren't good enough. In every movement you go into, there's always people they're trying to make you feel like you're not good enough. And how do they do it? How do they lift themselves up on you? Through knowledge, through superiority. I've been doing this longer than you, and I'm better at it than you, and I can remember more scriptures than you, and I know more Hebrew words or Greek words or whatever words there. Wherever you go, there's always somebody trying to get on top of you all the time. Yahushua wasn't like that. And that's why he's saying to us in these days, he's delivered us. He's set us free. You don't have to come under anybody like that. You just need the Ruach inside you to teach us through his word. And look at this. When the pure word comes through, it shouldn't say pure language. It should say clean lip. Clean lip. We've all thought we had to go and learn Hebrew. Yahuwah gave us this clue that we all have to shoulder the situation together, which speaks of behaviour. It's how we walk it, guys. It's how we live it. It's our lifestyle. It's how you, not bring Yahushua into your lifestyle, how you rework your lifestyle to suit Yahushua. You surrender your lifestyle. You come into Yahushua's realm with his Ruach inside you, and you surrender. You don't just bring him into your life. You step into him. You come into his reign, his realm. You surrender to him. So the clean lip is a behaviour, not a language. And we need not listen to the interpretations of men in robes. They don't just wear robes, you know. Learned men of knowledge. We need not listen to them who do filthy things. We need to listen to Yahushua, who speaks to us through the power of the Ruach HaKodesh, and follow his instructions in the clean lip behaviour. Follow his instructions in the clean lip behaviour. Again, we have all been deceived. So, if we're not reading the Torah carefully, if we're not trying to filter everything through, how did Yahushua fulfill this? What did Yahushua do about this? How does this affect my behaviour? Then we're just learning a culture. It's like learning social studies. We're learning Hebrew. It's like the kids might do at school. We're learning about ancient civilizations. Wakko, what's that got to do with us? What's that got to do with our walk here today in the 21st century? It's got to be about behaviour, hasn't it? I mean, when we go down and we look at the first article I was talking about earlier on, we've got the scriptures already translated, transliterated into English. We've got them already. I mean, even they sometimes are a bit confusing, and that's why Yahusha's put it in me to make it even simpler again, because the clean lip is about behaviour. It's not about complicated, having to get brain freeze, trying to concentrate. What does that mean? I mean, that's where I've been, and I'm just trying to get the hell out of there now, because the concentration is phenomenal. Why should we have to go through this just to understand Yahusha's pure? Because he wasn't like that. I mean, he was like that to all the nations and the people who were out there trying to get him. But to his followers, he was simple and easy and explained it to them, you know. So it shouldn't be this hard to understand. But men in robes, complicated men who like to quote scriptures and learn different languages, have made it difficult. So that we have to come under their banners, that we have to come into their teaching and into their, you know, mindset of everything. But that's not how Yahusha is. So, tell me. So, I mean, tell me when you have been through Yahusha's tests and you speak to someone who has not had such an experience, are they really going to understand? No, they don't understand. People can only understand on the level that they understand. And so are you going to strive with them and try and pressure them and argue with them? Or are you going to put them back out to pasture and let Yahusha deal with them? That's the whole purpose of this behaviour. I mean, this whole behaviour revolution has just blown me away. Like, it's really allowed me to get to know my Creator. When everybody just steps away and you're left by yourself to your own devices, own thoughts, own mindset, the unclean spirits have a field day with you, and then you've got the living word there and Yahusha's Ruach saying, okay, you've got the world or you've got me. What do you want to choose? You've done enough of the world, haven't you? What else is there to experience in the world that's a life, you know? So we need to shoulder this responsibility together, guys. Come together in sincerity and in truth and be honest with one another and learn the truth. Make it easy for one another. I mean, look at this. Look what the scriptures have done. The Bible, which is a mixture of truth and lies anyway, just changing things like that. And I've been finding that all through. And I mean, I'm only in Leviticus right now, but I've been finding that all through. I'm switching things around all the time. And sometimes it just makes me so angry. And even in the BYNV at times, I just go, oh, why does that need to be there? Like, it's a stumbling block. Because when I read, I want to draw closer to Yahusha. I want to learn something for my life. I don't want to be looking at the ink on the page, doing a word study or doing a culture study or doing a this study or that study. I want to talk. It's like having a conversation with Yahusha, and while you're talking to somebody, someone's walking in there holding up little signs. Oh, this word means this, and this word, this. You don't understand this word. You have to do more study to understand this word. Right in the middle of a conversation. Just gives me the tom tits. Why can't we just understand the scripture? Why can't the scriptures be put out easy? You know? So that's what I'm trying to do. But with this clean lip, this just blew my brains out. Like, that's just 2 words. We've gone from pure, what was it? Pure language. I mean, that doesn't sound wrong, does it? We're coming into a pure language. But the word language is a stumbling block because we're looking for a Hebrew language. It can't be Greek. Christians like Greek, but it can't be. We know it's Hebrew, but that's not where it's at either. The Hebrew's been done. Like I said in the last video, look up a few things if you want to look them up, but then bring them back to your life. Your life isn't Hebrew. Your life isn't 5,000 years ago. Your life is here, in your house, with your family, with your children, with your spouse, with whoever, or even if you're by yourself. Your life is here in the 21st century. You know, study all you like, but if you don't bring it back to today, what was it for? So I want to show you a picture here because this is how we get deceived. I hope you can see it. See that picture of the duck? Or do you think it's a rabbit? A rabbit. See that? See that there? That's what I've been reading, guys, by the way. But I can't do two things at once. So, see how deceived we can be? I mean, it looks like a duck, but it could be a rabbit. Can you see it? Could be either way. So, understand that that's what it's like reading the scriptures. If we don't read through the right context, we get tricked into thinking that we're supposed to behave, and that's what it's all about, remember? Satan wants us to behave because whoever you model your behaviour after is whoever you serve. And whoever you serve is whoever owns you. And there's only two masters. One is evil and one is good. Yahusha or the devil, the dragon, 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪. So it's all about behaviour because no matter what we profess with our tongue, whatever assembly we attend or belief we confess, it doesn't matter because it's what behaviour comes out of us that makes us unclean, that declares, the behaviour we have declares who we serve. So can you see why everybody's now in this new movement? The Hebrew roots, it's got to be Hebrew, it's got to be Hebrew, got to be Hebrew. You got to wear your tallit, and you got to wear your zits, and you got to wear beard, and you got to wear all this rubbish, cultural rubbish, walking around like priests of Levitical priests. You don't have to walk around looking like that. This is the stumbling block, guys. This is getting in the way of the clean lip. Christopher wrote that in one of the other ones. Where is it? We talked about the judgments that are coming on there because the 10 Commandments is full of blessings and curses. We have to obey if we want the blessings. We have to consciously exercise our belief. Exercise, listen, do. We have to be obedient if we want to see the blessings. Yeah? It's our choice. But you can see it is a great blessing to shoulder the burden together. What's the burden? As you can see, it is a great help and blessing to shoulder the burden together. What's our burden? What's the weight on us? What's the pressure on us in these last days? It's a tribulation period. It's a great tribulation that we live in. We're surrounded by filth. We're surrounded by plagues. We're surrounded by catastrophes and natural disasters. They're not natural. It's Yahusha's wrath. So this burden, it could also be a burden of living this way in this world, of holding this truth, passing on the baton to someone else. This burden, this responsibility, we shoulder it together. The clean lip speaks of a language of behaviour because it would be really easy just to give in, wouldn't it? Just go, I'm happy where I'm at. I believe in Yahusha. We've known plenty of people that they're not denying Yahusha, but they don't want to go any further. No, we're happy. We love Yahusha. We just don't love you guys anymore. We don't like where you're going. We're going to do our own thing. I mean, if we believe we're being led to a certain pasture by the shepherd and some of the sheep go off that way, and we believe that's the shepherd, then are they following the shepherd? How can you love the shepherd if you're not following? How can you love him if you're not obedient to him? So I'm not saying they don't lose their deliverance, but I'm saying they're gone to sleep. Great white throne judgment, second resurrection, that way. Do you want to stop and just be satisfied with the crumbs from the table? Yahusha's not going to marry somebody like that. It's not for us to decide who's delivered and who's not anyway. But the point is, if you want Yahusha, you got to follow him. And he's always moving. He doesn't just stop. He's always moving to cleaner, greener pastures, cleaner lip, cleaner understanding. So if everyone was to speak this language in these last days, Yahusha's plan would be fulfilled. it'd be working, it would be moving, he'd be coming back, you know. Remember, you have to be tested by Yahushua himself if you are going to be in his family. This the thing is, we must manifest firstly the language of behaviour. This is the whole point, guys. This language of behaviour. I mean, what more phenomenal understanding do you have than this? It's all behaviour. That's the one thing. I mean, you can sit and study and learn all this stuff till you're blue in the face and your eyes have gone square, but have you mastered your behaviour? The man who can control himself is better than the man who can control cities. And everybody wants to control things, don't they? And own things and be powerful over things. But can they control themselves? Can they, live a clean life? Can they be obedient? And, declaring that Yahushua's instructions are hard. Oh, we can't do that. Why not? They're not hard. You just have to love him and love them. Have them written on your heart. So, I hope you understand, guys, that this is a revolution. This really is what's revolution mean? Taking something back by force. The lay people, the status quo, the bourgeois, we're taking them back, our rights to be free in the head, taking it off religion, where a revolution is taking something back by force. And this is a behaviour revolution. We're revolting against religion, against Christian Messianic nationalism. We're revolting. We're doing it in there. They're revolting. No, we're revolting. There's a revolt happening. So it's happening whether they like it or not, because Yahushua is forcing all the religions to crumble. So if we have any of that religion in us, we crumble along with it. We've got to be purged of it. And that's where the fire comes in. Do you want to be purged? Do you want to be purged? I mean, I was looking at the whole idea of the oil in the tabernacle, and that oil had to be crushed to fuel the lamps, crushed in order to have any light in them. And Yahushua had to be crushed in order to produce any light. Just like anything in this world has to be, fueled. We have to be crushed and surrendered and die if we want any light to come forth from us. But who teaches this? Who explains it like this? Who goes there and just is simple and easy to understand English language? You don't have to have a doctorate in Hebrew, Greek, bloody. Come out, guys. Come out and realise who you are in the Master. He loves you so much. He loves me so much. We don't face it, do we? We're constantly feeling like we have to prove ourselves to, not in that sense, prove ourselves that we're worth even being in Yisrael. You are worth being in Yisrael. Not because of what you've done, but because of who he is. You are worth being in. You are worth something to Yahushua. You are worth a hell of a lot to Yahushua. That's why he's put his ruach in you, and he's striving and training and going through step by step everything with you. He can do you and everybody else all at the same time. He knows how many hairs are on your head, your wife's head, your husband's head, everybody's heads. He knows every detail of your life. He's in every single detail. And we're constantly missing it because we're listening, entertaining other weird, wild, unclean thoughts. So keep going, brothers and sisters. Stay strong. It's all about coming into the clean lip. This new language. This is phenomenal. This is a revolution. This is something fresh from Yahushua yesterday. Are you seeing that this is from Yahushua? Or is this just another weird, wacky thing from the behaviour evolution, trying to upset people? Stuff it. If it upsets people, it upsets people. Yahushua didn't care about that. He wanted the truth to go out there to set people free. You are free to interpret the scriptures however you want through your ruach, the ruach of Yahushua. But you've got to be so careful. Don't just take the ink on the page for granted. Look into stuff and read it and listen as you're reading it. Don't read just for the sake of reading. Read to hear what he's going to say to you while you're reading. Read things on Facebook, read the newspaper, read anything. and listen to his voice because it's not about what's on the ink on the page. It's about what he says to you while it's happening. That's enough rambling on from me, guys. I love you, and we'll be back soon. Don't be deceived. Come into the clean lip. There's fresh behaviour, and you'll feel amazing and alive, because that's where Yahushua is. And wherever Yahushua is, life, peace, protection, provision, prosperity. See you later.